All right, let's get to it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my series of Ninjago episode review live streams. In today's stream, we are going to be talking about episode 69. Get all the funnies out now. It's episode 69. Haha, get it? It's called A Line in the Sand. Welcome, everyone, joining us today. Thank you very much for tuning in. We got a few more folks in the chat than what we normally do when we start off these streams, which makes me think that YouTube actually did its job for once and actually put out notifications. So, welcome if you guys are just joining us here. Usually notifications don't work for these streams, but welcome everyone joining us today. Hopefully you're all having a fantastic day. In terms of our streaming schedule, let's go ahead and get to it. If you guys are just joining us for the first time, this is what we got going on. We stream Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time, with an episode review and a Q&A. We will be updating this day by day. If there's ever a day where I cannot stream, I will let you guys know via my community tab. Like I said, we're going to be talking about A Line in the Sand today, which is the 5th episode of Hands of Time. Slowly making our way through that. Where's Waffle? She's sitting behind me on a chair. For those of you guys that don't know, Waffle is one of my many cats that we have in the apartment. So yeah, Waffle hangs out with us during the stream, and it's overall a fun time. No notification. Some folks got notified. Yeah, some folks finally got the notification. Thanks YouTube for actually, doing your job and supporting this stream. It's always fun. In terms of how my day is, it's all right. It's barely begun. Totally didn't wake up like 20 minutes ago. But normally what we do, we let the episode pictures run in the background as we break down the plot. Then I'll talk about the good and the bad, and then finally we will give the episode a score out of 10. The episode review usually takes about 20, 25-ish minutes out of the stream, and then we will turn it over to Q&A, where we can just hang out and talk about random stuff. In terms of what the drink is, I just got a bottle of water. Going boring today. I apologize for the boring choice in beverage, but it is what it is. We just have ourselves a bottle of water. I need to refresh the stream over on my end. It's not going to make the stream buffer or anything, but I do have the chat open in another screen. There we go. Now I can see the chat. Perfect. The chat for some reason wasn't loading for me, but now I can see it. I can see you guys all clear as day right now. So let's just get to it. As I mentioned prior in some of these season 7 reviews, I have reviewed these episodes before. So when we actually do give the episode a score, we will compare it to the score that I gave it way back in 2017 when this episode was first coming out. Let's get to it. Let's talk about the plot. The episode begins with the ninja arriving at the Mega Monster amusement park. The Vermilion are already hard at work, basically taking apart the entire thing, so the ninja decide to help out the best that they can. They split up and they decide to battle the Vermilion. Nia basically wants answers as to who stole her Samurai X suit, and Kai ends up fighting a Vermilion warrior and ends up getting one of their helmets and seeing a mysterious symbol inside that he recognizes. He doesn't really know for sure what the symbol is, but he knows that it looks familiar to him. So very strange, very important to the overall plot of this season. Meanwhile, Jay arrives at his parents' junkyard, and the Vermilion are already basically stealing all the metal there as well. So it's not super great there. Jay's trying to do his best to protect his parents. Unfortunately, the snakes are too overwhelming, and Jay's mom gets kidnapped by the snakes. So yeah, obviously that's not super good for Jay. Meanwhile, Chronix and Crux are having issues with Borg. They, of course, have kidnapped Cyrus Borg to, I guess, force him to do slave labor to them. Unfortunately for Chronix and Crux, Borg pretty much refuses to work, or rather, he can't work with the limited technology that the Time Twins are actually supplying to him. At this moment in time, the second Time Blade decides to make an appearance and pretty much just hits the middle of the ground and causes all of Ninjago to slow down for a second. We saw this effect prior with the Time Blade that first showed up, the fast forward Time Blade. This one is the slow mo Time Blade, and Chronix and Crux get word of that. Zane gets word of that. The ninja get word of where it is, and they decide to race for it there, especially after the amusement park battle is pretty much all said and done. So yeah, they have Makia to handle Cyrus. Oh, for sure. Yeah, they're gonna get something out of Cyrus Borg, whether he likes it or not. So I just realized the reason why I'm not seeing the chat on my other screen is because I had the stream paused. So just hold on 1 second. We'll get through this. We'll get it done. All right, I think we're good right now. Yeah, I have the stream open in another screen on another tab because I like to see the live chat over there as well, and I had the stream paused. That's why the chat was not showing up for me. So My mistake. Continuing on though, Jay and his dad actually have a little motivational moment. Jay's obviously upset that his mom got kidnapped, but Jay's dad actually has a very motivational speech, which is kind of in line with Ed. I mean, we saw him give a motivational speech last season, so he gives another one this season. And he basically presents Jay with his early birthday present, that of course being a really rickety motorcycle. Jay opts to do a few upgrades on the motorcycle, to which Ed, agrees that yeah, it does probably need some upgrades, and they decide to use it to rescue Jay's mom. The Vermilion are basically reaching the Time Blade first before the ninja do, and they actually do get it, and a couple of the generals use the Time Blade to slow the ninja down, which is really, really, I guess, interesting because the Vermilion really didn't do much of anything in the past couple of episodes, but now they're actually handling the Time Blade, so, and they actually know how to use it somewhat. Of course, their aim is a little faulty, but they actually know what it does. They know what to do, and it's actually really impressive. It's quite an interesting feat for these Vermilion warriors. They can actually do something right. It's awesome. Yeah, they slow down the ninja. The ninja are having a hard time getting to the Time Blade. At this moment, Jay and his dad decide to show up on what's known as Desert Lightning. It's a new super fast motorcycle for Jay, and he uses it to basically counteract the slow motion Time Blade. By speeding up super fast and going through the slow motion bubble, he's actually moving at a pretty reasonable speed. So I thought that was pretty cool. And he uses it to kidnap Jay's mom back to him. You know, he kind of kidnaps his own mom and drives away with her. So he saves the day, saves her, but he can't stop really, and he's basically just gone. The ninja are without him, but the ninja do have an opening now, so that's good. Jay actually gave them an opening to, I guess, fight back against the Vermilion, and they do just that. They steal the slow motion Time Blade, use it against the Vermilion, pick up Ed, and decide to take off in the Ultrasonic Raider, or what's left of it, the Ultra Stealth Raider rather. What's left of it? It's in pieces. It's very damaged, but they do actually manage to escape, which is always cool. The ninja have won this battle. They have stolen the Time Blade. They now have one in their possession, and the Vermilion are reporting back to Chronix and Crux, saying that unfortunately they have failed, and Chronix and Crux are not happy, but they are, that they are confident that they will have other opportunities to steal the Time Blade, such as, again, the next episode that we're going to be talking about tomorrow. We'll see that go down there. A pretty simple plot, not a whole lot goes down this time, but I do have some good and bad that I need to talk about. The plot is very simple, obviously, but that's not a bad thing. I feel like the actual episode is the most competent that we've seen so far from Hands of Time, believe it or not. And a couple of things that I want to point out in terms of actual good stuff. The desert battle is a lot of fun. It's actually a lot better than the amusement park battle. The amusement park battle isn't bad per se, but the actual desert battle is a lot cooler, I'd say, because of the introduction of the Time Blade. The Time Blade itself can slow down time just like, several Time Blades do. They kind of manipulate time and mess with it. This one in particular slows down time. And it's a really interesting, I guess, effect that they have going on here. They kind of create a really weird looking time bubble. That's always fun. I also really enjoy how Jay basically showed up, saved everybody, and then just drove away immediately. Yeah, Jay puts in a lot of work this episode, and it's really fun to see him actually use Desert Lightning. It's not a bad vehicle for Jay. It's actually super cool, really fast, really awesome, and I really liked the desert battle. Probably my favorite part of this episode. I also really enjoy the Jay moments that he shared with his dad, of course, Ed. Like I said, Ed had a very motivational speech last season with Skybound, but now he actually gives another one. I think his Skybound speech is a little better, but this one still motivates Jay to do the right thing, and that is to put all of his energy into saving his mom, which he eventually does. So I need to give Jay props to that. It's actually really cool. I loved how Jay's dad is actually motivational. It just kind of sucks that we're not seeing Ed and Edna around anymore. I don't think we've seen them since the end of Hands of Time, unless I'm missing something. But yeah, we haven't seen them in a minute. Did I notice the mistake in this episode? Like the bit where Jay basically flies through the slow motion bubble, and then the camera pans back to the ninja, and there's another Jay sitting in the crowd. Yeah, it was very weird, very strange. But no, we saw that. In case you guys don't know what we're talking about, there is a moment in this episode where two Jays actually appear in the desert lightning scene. It's just a simple animation mistake, but I still thought it was worth mentioning. It's funny. What else can I say? Also, we need to talk about the Time Blade. This is the second one that we see, the slow motion Time Blade. That's fun. It's actually really interesting to see how the Time Blade works in, I guess, coordination with the other one, and it's also different in a lot of ways. All the Time Blades are different, but they are all super cool to see. Each one does a very unique thing, and we're seeing more Time Blades pop up every so often in this season. So we got another one. That's cool. I also need to talk about Kai's, I guess, character development moment in this episode, if you can call it that. He gets a Vermilion Warrior's helmet, and the symbol inside is very familiar to him. Now, we as an audience know that this basically signifies Rey and Maya, specifically their blacksmith shop, their blacksmith origins. Kai doesn't really know that, though. He just doesn't really recognize the symbol right away. All he knows is that it looks familiar to him, and that's basically all we got. So I just thought that was cool, worth pointing out. Very good setup. It's not as obnoxious as setup in previous episodes has been. It's still good, but I just thought it was somewhat a little bit more, I guess, comprehensible. We heard Edna's voice in season 9's J flashback. Oh, but we haven't really seen them like show up specifically. Like, right, they haven't made like a full appearance. We just kind of heard her talk, I guess. Whatever works. Yeah, I just don't think we've seen like a physical appearance of them since Hands of Time, which is weird because we should totally see them back again. Something else I need to point out is the Vermilion. I like them in this episode. They're actually somewhat competent. They know how to use the Time Blade. They don't have aim, but they can actually use it somewhat, which is still cool. Better than the Vermilion have been this season, so I got to give props to that. I also need to talk about how Lloyd is actually somewhat confident this go round. After being a really whiny, somewhat less competent leader in the last episode, he's actually somewhat decent this time. He knows how to lead, and he's not like super, I guess, condescending over the other ninja, if you will, in terms of his leadership. He treats them like friends, but he's still the leader, which is pretty much what you would, what you should do. You shouldn't, I guess, be super bossy towards your team. Like Lloyd is slowly kind of adjusting to that sensei or master title, so I just thought that was cool. We got to see a little bit more of that this episode. That's always fun. Overall, this episode had a lot of really good stuff. Not really a whole lot of stuff to complain about necessarily. If I had to make a small complaint, just a small complaint, I'd say maybe it's kind of obnoxious that we don't get the full team fighting as much as we used to. I mean, Jay kind of shows up and then immediately dips, but to be fair, that's really not a big reason to hate this episode. It's not a big reason to take points off of this episode. I thought this episode was very good overall. Definitely one of my favorites this season, at least so far. I can't really remember what I think about the other episodes in this season. We'll find that out as we continue to watch it. It's been a minute since I've watched through Hands of Time. So with that being said, I don't really have anything bad to say, so let's go ahead and score this episode. Because I don't have anything bad to say, you guys know what's coming. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. But as you can see, my original score from 2017 was actually an 8.5 out of 10. And I watched my review and I didn't really take off points for anything. I just kind of talked about good stuff and then gave it an 8.5. So I don't know what I was thinking back then. But I decided to give it a 10 out of 10 because this go around I legitimately couldn't find anything that I didn't like. Some of you guys have already been putting your scores in the chat. Thank you very much for that. Let's get some more scores in the chat. What do you guys think about this episode? Couple 8s, 9, couple 10s, 7. Couple more 10s in there. Fair enough. I'm going to take a sip of my water really quick. A couple more 8s. A 6. I haven't really seen anything below a 6. Season's animation's kind of bad. Yeah, like the lighting is really poor as well from what I've seen. It just, it just goes back to Hands of Time having production issues. It really wasn't the season's fault. It was just kind of the fault of the studio not having a lot of time. Production issues. Pretty high scores, I'd say, this episode so far. I'm seeing anywhere from like 6 to 10s. So pretty average scores, pretty much what we've been seeing for Hands of Time thus far. Like I said, I'm not sure what I was thinking in my original review. I don't really have anything necessarily bad to say about it now. Didn't have anything bad to say back then, yet I still was hesitant to give it a 10 for some reason. Not too sure what I was thinking back then. I do watch my older reviews, I guess, after I score up and tally up the score for the episode now, the modern score. After I do that, I go back through and watch my older review and see how they compare. But yeah, I thought this episode was good, very solid. Next up, we're going to be talking about The Attack, which is going to be tomorrow's review, which should be the last stream of the week, because today's Thursday? Yeah, today's Thursday, so tomorrow we will talk about The Attack, which will be the last episode that we review for the week. do I like hearing myself? Like in older videos, it's kind of difficult because I sound a lot more younger. I sound a lot more obnoxious back when I was really young. Eventually you get used to it. I do listen to myself a lot through editing and stuff like that. But yeah, with that being said, that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for my review. So let's jump into Q's and A's. In case you guys are just joining us here, this is the part of the stream where we just kind of talk about just whatever. We just kind of hang out and discuss things. So it's fun. Why don't we start off with I don't think we've done season 13 in a while, so we can start off with season 13 pictures. Usually you guys give me suggestions for what you want to see pictures of, and we can change it like every 5-10 minutes ish. We still got like 40 minutes left of the stream. The actual review itself didn't really take up that much time, so yeah, what do you guys got for me? Yeah, I had a really old mic when I was doing those older videos. Obviously my mics nowadays aren't perfect yet, but they're definitely better than what they were back then. I think I blew out that mic because I was trying to test it, and I thought, hey, let's scream into the mic. That's a good idea. And then it blew out, and then it sounded really bad. So, but I didn't really have a lot of money back then. I did what I could. I still don't really have a fair bit of money now, to be honest. I'm working through it though. A lot of my funds go into food and rent and stuff. So I'm an adult. This is what we do. But yeah, what do you guys got for me? What kind of questions y'all got? Like the way you sounded back in the old days. Well, thank you. I guess I don't like that. Who was the first? Who was the first ninja recruited? That would be Cole. Why am I revamping these season 7 episode reviews? Well, we're going to be doing this not only for season 7, but also for seasons 8 and 9 as well. We're going to stop once we get to season 9 because I just want to go back and update my thoughts on the older episodes, that I've had reviewed prior. And also it gives me an excuse to stream more because I like streaming. So, you know how it is. We're just doing these revamped episode reviews until we get to the end of season 9. Then we'll switch the streams over to something else. Who makes the ninjas costumes? Well, from what we had seen, Wu just kind of orders them, and then they come in the mail, I suppose. So used to the new mic? Yeah, me too. For streams, it's obviously, I think, less quality than what the videos are, but I use different mics for my videos and for streaming. So, how long did Zane live in that village before Wu found him? It's hard to say. I mean, after Dr. Julian passed away, it couldn't have been more than like maybe a couple months before Wu tracked him down. I feel like Wu kind of got word that Julian had passed away, and then he actually, somewhat tracked down Zane or whatever. It's hard to say. Yeah, Wu probably orders them off of Amazon. What's that Halloween store, Party City? He gets them all at Party City. I don't know. In my head canon, it was like a few months in between when Julian died and Zane was found. Of course, Julian was revived and he was doing other stuff after that, trapped in a lighthouse. But you know, I imagine it couldn't have been more than a couple of months before Wu found him, because Wu had already been keeping tabs on Zane as well, from one of his previous visits. How did Wu not know Zane was a robot? I mean, when you look at him, he doesn't really seem like a robot on the surface. I mean nowadays, sure, yeah, he looks like a robot on the surface. But back in the day, you couldn't really tell. Like I certainly didn't know until he opened up his chest. And it's not like Wu is taking like super like close and careful observations on these kids. It's not like he's like taking like blood or anything like that. He's just training ninja. It's pretty much all he needs to do. And I could totally understand how Wu, I guess, didn't know that Zane was a robot. Yeah, Echo Zane needs to come back. That could be cool. Part of me wanted him to come back in season 8 when it was kind of rumored that he was going to be Mr. E, but ultimately that plan kind of fell through, which is both a blessing and a curse, I think. It's kind of a good thing that they took Echo Zane out of there because it would just add way too much to season 8. But at the same time, I want to see Echo Zane come back at some point. So, kind of meh. What I think about the season 15 water snakes. Yeah, we can talk about that quick. In case you guys aren't caught up with the news or anything like that, we got a whole bunch of leaks yesterday for season 15 stuff. Very, very early preliminary images that I cannot show on basically anything because Lego will sue me if I show them. So yeah, we're not showing them. But yeah, in terms of what we're looking at, it's an underwater season. That much is clear. We've already been speculating about that earlier. The villains appear to be some weird water snake things. Yeah, I've also heard that too. It could be eels. I think if there are eels, it would be a little better. But they're using the same. They're using the same head molds from what we can see so far as the pyro snakes from Asphira's army, except they're water themed this time. So I guess that's cool. Yep, there's a new amulet as well. I really like the dragons that we saw. I think all the dragons look excellent. The Legacy Kai Fire Dragon looks amazing, and the Water Dragon looks good too. I think that one looks awesome. Very long dragon. It reminds me very much of like those like common like Chinese style dragons. So those are cool. Yeah, I think water snakes is still it's an original idea. I will say that. It's an original idea in terms of snakes, but at the end of the day, snakes again, it's like, oh, okay. What other snakes are we doing? I think they could be based on Electro Cobra. If they're like some type of electric eel, then I think that'd be totally fine. I just don't want them to be like serpentine again, you know? I think if they're eels, I think that'd be a lot better. But yeah, I actually really like the sets. I think they all look good so far. I'm not sure how I feel about the ninja. I noticed some of them have guns, so that's cool. They're actually giving the ninja guns this time. But no, the sets look fun. I for sure want to get some of them, but I'm also waiting until we get like more finalized images because these are very early, very preliminary images that are subject to change. So I could totally see them being Electro Cobra, but like juiced up or evolved in some way. It would be a lot better than just having them be like just Serpentine again. Like Electro Cobra are at least a little different. I think if they were like electric eels, I think that could be cool. But no, I'm excited for what season 15 has to offer. I'm looking forward more to that than I am season 14, if we're being honest. But I still think that all the sets look fine. I like the Hydra bounty. That looks cool. The temple is kind of weird, like the Temple of Infinite Seas. I will say that it's kind of awkward to look at. Um, they are using like a giant snake with that same head mold that the Overlord Dragon has, which makes me think that they're just going to keep on reusing that head. Started with the Overlord Dragon, and they're just going to keep on recycling it and reusing it from there. We see this weird snake in the season 15 sets actually using a full-on head, um, but some of the other dragons only use like the bottom jaw. So I think they all look cool. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see finalized images of these sets. It's going to be a lot of fun. Should the Overlord come back? Oh yeah, for sure at some point. Yeah, the ninja have guns. I haven't seen them use guns before, I will say that. Yeah, they're using the bottom jaw of the Overlord's head for stuff like the Jungle Dragon and even the Water Dragon. I think the snake is Wahira. Yeah, that seems to be the common theory right now. I'd believe it. This big underwater sea serpent creature thing. This makes me think that season 14 and 15 are very much connected. Favorite Pokemon girl? Um, I'm always a big fan of Cynthia from Gen 4, the champion Cynthia. Gen 4 is my favorite, so Cynthia's cool. They have harpoon guns. Yeah. I think it'd be cool if they just gave the ninja like just a bunch of guns. I think that'd be cool. They got guns on their vehicles. They got blasters on their vehicles. So why not just like give them all guns? You know what I'm saying? Give Zane a rocket launcher. Make it like built into like his back or something. Give him like a shoulder cannon. That'd be really cool. Why do the police officers in Ninjago not have guns? That's a good question. Most of them nowadays just have tasers. They had guns at some point, like in Skybound, we can see them actually using guns. But nowadays, the police force in Ninjago, they're just equipped with tasers, which I suppose is better than nothing. But it's still like, okay, well, what happened where the cops aren't allowed to use guns anymore? Pixel or Akita? I think Pixel's a better character than Akita. I will say that. What do I think of the Pokemon Incineroar? Not my favorite. I love Litten. I love Torracat. I just don't like Incineroar just because I think it breaks the evolutionary line. Like you got two cats that stand on like all fours, and then you got this final cat that stands up, and he's supposed to be a wrestler. I'm not into that. I don't like how that looks. Geckles or the Munts? A couple of people are answering this. Asking this. I'm kind of more of a Geckles fan, I guess. They're not they're not ideal. I don't think either tribe is necessarily cool, but the Geckles, I suppose, are the least offensive to me, of course. So Let's switch over to some different images. What should we do? Day of the Departed? Haven't done that in a minute. Day of the Departed. Favorite Vermilion General? Probably General Machia, because she's like the only one that's actually, decent. We got Crystal with the 199 donation. Thank you very much. Which ninja is the most likely to be shot? Probably Zane, because he can probably survive it. But Cole has been shot before. Granted, he was a ghost and the bullet kind of went through him, but, he has been shot before. But thank you once again, Crystal, for the donation. Jay or Zane? Right now, I'd say Zane's a little better than Jay. I think my hierarchy right now for the ninja would go Cole's my favorite, then Zane, then Lloyd, then Jay, then Kai, and then Nia being my least favorite. Doesn't mean I dislike Nia. I just just my least favorite. Nope, we're all done with the episode review. We are on to Q&A stuff. In case you guys ever want to go back and like rewatch some of the episode reviews or whatever works, the stream will always be uploaded as a video after the live actually gets done and it all wraps up. So you can always go back and watch it afterwards if you would like. So just letting you guys know. Cole or Kai? Cole, definitely. Cole's my favorite. Cole suit color gray or black. I'd say black works the best for Cole, obviously, but I also don't mind like the little subtle hints of orange, I'd say, that are sprinkled throughout Cole, especially nowadays. I think I think orange works really well for Cole. Otherwise, I was always a big fan of like gray on Cole, like the black and gray color scheme. I think worked really well. Not a big fan of black and brown. I know a lot of his vehicles end up being like black and brown, but I think for suits he should either do a gray and black color scheme or a black and orange. So I'd say the island suit for Cole is like a healthy blend of basically all of them. Mortal Kombat trailer? Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, a new trailer for the Mortal Kombat movie came out today. I'm not a big Mortal Kombat fan, but I watched the trailer. It looks fun enough. It looks like stupid fun. So I'm excited for that. I'll watch it when it comes out. Again, I don't really have any experience with Mortal Kombat. Never played it. Never nothing. Gonna do the island picks? Yeah, we can totally jump to those in a little bit, a few minutes, and then we'll switch over. Cryptor or Kozu? I'd say Cryptor. I'm always more of a fan of the Nindroids. Nah, Raid Shadow Legends won't sponsor me. I mean, you'd think they'd sponsor everyone else, right? Have I seen WandaVision? Yes, indeed. A new episode comes out later tonight, I think, at like 2 a.m. my time. So I'll stay up and watch that. Usually it's been like a Thursday night tradition. I just kind of stay up and watch that, and then I pass out immediately after. Yeah, no, yeah, we get shampoo sponsors, yeah. That's like, yeah, shampoo companies email me and be like, "Yo, man, you want to review our shampoo on your channel?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, totally, dude. I'm a beauty channel. I'm a shampoo channel. Send that my way. I'll review it on camera. Why not? That's what my viewers want to see. Forget Ninjago. We're just gonna review some shampoo." Yeah, there's a new amulet in the season 15 sets. Yeah, it looks really cool, and that definitely makes me think that these seasons are very much connected. Season 14 and 15. It's going to be very much a part one, part two, I'd say. Switching over to season 14 pictures, the island. Yeah, I think if Day of the Departed was an actual season, it would have been much, much better. Should do hair gel sponsors. Totally. Yeah, normally though, like, I don't know. I don't get a lot of offers for like sponsorships and stuff, and when I do, it's like really weird stuff that doesn't really apply to the channel. So I usually turn them down just because it just doesn't appeal to the channel. It's like, oh yeah, let me just review shampoo really quick. It's like, no. Someone wanted me to like sponsor like or review their video game this one time, and it's just like, all right, man. Well, I'm not a gaming channel, so maybe that sponsorship can be filled somewhere else. I don't know. I just get like a lot of really awkward emails for sponsorships and stuff like that. Hardly anything actually applies to the channel, so usually I have to turn them down. Why did Kai run over Jay with the X1 Charger? Because Kai doesn't like Jay. Because Jay's dating his sister, and Kai's like, no, 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 no. Ever played Fall Guys? I have not. I had it downloaded at one point, like on my PlayStation, but I never ended up playing it, so I just deleted it. How's the 10-year anniversary script coming along? Pretty good. I'm not doing animations. No, we're not doing animations for that. But in terms of like a script, yeah, it's coming along. I am pretty much banking on having that out by May. I think I want to release it around May, sometime in the month of May. So that gives me like the rest of February, March, and April to work on it. I'd say that's a pretty good amount of time. So you guys can expect it to come out at some point in May. We'll talk about it. We'll do videos about it. We'll do like a stream for it. It can work. I'm excited to share it with you guys. Rank all the Lego movies, all 4 of them. I'd say the Lego movie is the best one. Then the Ninjago movie is second for me, just my personal opinion. Then the Batman movie, then the Lego movie 2. I don't think that the Lego movie 2 is a bad movie. It's just very underwhelming compared to the first one, I'd say. And we're probably not going to see another Lego movie for a very long time. I'm still going to do a shelf dedicated to Cole. I would like to at some point. I just got to clear up a lot of my space in my room to do that. I'm still like working on reorganizing stuff in the new studios. Should do a stream of me reading it. I totally could. I could do that. It's going to be a really long stream then. Like the actual script itself, when it's all said and done, should be like translated to like maybe an hour and a half long movie, 2-hour movie. So it's going to be like a long stream, but we can do it. I'm really excited to share this script with you guys. Like a finale of Ninjago, if you will. A movie to end it all. I'm excited for a sequel to Marvel's Spider-Man PS4. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I liked the PS4 Spider-Man. I liked the Miles Morales game. I'm looking forward to a sequel. I'm a really big fan of that universe. Least favorite side character other than Dareth? Well, Ronan is not that good of a guy, obviously. I mean, we've kind of talked smack about Ronan on this stream before. He's not a very good guy. Saw somewhere that season 14 only has 4 episodes. Yeah, that's the rumor right now. That's like the big rumor. But of course, that's always subject to change. We just don't know for sure just yet. Do I wish March of the Oni was longer? I actually think it's pretty good. I think it's actually, you know, somewhat decent in terms of length. I think it works as like a movie, you know. It either works as like a 4-part special or a movie. I think it works as a movie a lot better though, if you combined all 4 of those episodes together. Yeah, I think it'll be 20 episodes. Yeah, fair enough. All we know for sure is that season 14 is not going to have 16. That's all we know. That's been confirmed. We don't know like an actual number or anything like that. All we know is that that number is not going to be 16. It is not going to be a 16 episode season. Someone asked for season 9. We can jump to that. My season 9 pictures are lumped in with my season 8 pictures, so you're going to see a mix of Sons of Garmadon and Hunted here. So, hope that's okay. It's the best I got. It'll have 40, not 4. If it has 40 episodes, that'd be insane. That'd be longer than season 11. That'd be the longest season yet. Do you think we'll see Cyrus Borg in season 15? Maybe, potentially. I mean, you know, Borg Tower has been rumored to be attacked again, so I'm sure we'll see Cyrus Borg show up at some point. I hope we see a lot of him, though. I feel like there are a lot of side characters that should totally come back at some point. Zane is dating Pixel when he's over 60 and she's about 4. Yeah, but they're both robots, so does that really matter? I mean, if they're not human, then I don't see an issue. They're both robots, you know what I'm saying? That'd be like, I can't think of a good analogy. Lloyd or Zane? I'd say Zane's better than Lloyd right now. I'm excited to see what Lloyd will do in season 14, though. If we're gonna get a Borg Tower set, we should totally get like a really, really large Borg Tower. I don't think a play set would be good for that. Maybe they could just do like the tippy top of Borg Tower and have that be a play set. Otherwise, I would very much like to see maybe like a micro build, like an architect style Borg Tower set. That could be really cool. That way you can actually make the full thing. You know, you can capture that full tower. I think that could be cool. They should do like architecture sets for Ninjago because you could do a lot of like various locations. You could do like a really detailed monastery that's just smaller, you know? That could work out. What's Pixel's reaction to Buff Zane? She doesn't like it. She thinks it's a little too over the top. That's actually how Zane rebuilt himself at the end of season 3. Instead of making the titanium form, he made the buff Zane version of himself, and then Pixel was like, nah, tone it back a little bit. So then Zane made himself smaller titanium Zane. Yeah, Garmono's Monastery. Yeah, totally. We could do a whole lot of locations if Lego would do that. You know what I'm saying? Like make like smaller, like miniature scaled versions of different locations and buildings, but actually make them somewhat decent and actually capture the shape that they actually had in the show. That'd be awesome. Borg or Milton Dyer? Definitely Borg. I'd say he's better in every way. Buff Zane is canon, absolutely. Still trying to get Lego to make a Buff Zane Big Fig. That's like a dream of mine to see that happen someday. We're drinking water. We just have a water bottle here. Do I like the Ninjago Garden set? Oh yeah, totally. I think the Gardens is a really awesome set. Have it right here next to me on my desk. It looks pretty cool. I like how it looks. I like how it turned out. I don't think I want to make any modifications to it or anything. It looks pretty good. I'm probably going to be modifying the X1 charger at some point later today. My review for the X1 will be coming out sometime today as well, so stick around for that. But I'm probably going to be modifying it and maybe doing a video on that sometime this weekend or next week. Sons of Garmadon are hunted. I always preferred Sons of Garmadon. I think that's the better season from those two specifically. Do I think Wu hit the Time Twins with the Reversal Blade? If he did, then that would explain where the Time Twins went. They would just kind of be reversed and reversed until there were nothing. I could totally see Wu kind of creating like some type of reversal effect that rapidly de-aged him as well as the Time Twins, you know? Um, Obviously, he's already been de-aging before that, but maybe he can actually just de-age himself a little quicker. He like launches out of the time stream eventually as a baby, and the Chronics and Crux just kind of keep on de-aging until they're nothing. I think that would explain where they went. We'll see that at some point though, coming up here this year with those Ninjago reimagined shorts. We'll see it at some point. New Game or Fairy Tale? Gotta go with New Game. It's a lot better for me. Fairy Tale's cool. It's just, you know, I like New Game more. Should add Buff Zane to your screenplay. I could totally do that, maybe as like a joke or something. But I don't know. The script so far has been like kind of dark and edgy, so I'm planning on adding some comedy in there later on. But as of right now, everyone kind of hates each other, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, Chronix and Crux got unborn. Yeah, for sure. I feel like that could be a very interesting, I guess, scenario where they actually show why the Time Twins aren't around anymore. Either that, or they just got thrown forward in time again, maybe, and we'll see them at some point in Ninjago's future. Who knows? I think we'll see what happened to them. Yeah, it's season 4, but like everybody's at each other's throats. It's about right. And Master Wu is like, you know, slowly dying. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be an interesting script when it's all said and done. At least I hope so. Season 5 images. Yeah, we can jump to that. Possession. I like Possession. Actual Ninjago Civil War moment. Right now, I'm currently in the process of writing a fight scene between the ninja. Yeah, I'm writing a fight scene between. I'm just gonna say it's Lloyd versus the rest of the ninja. Kind of like what it was at the beginning of Possession, but Lloyd is not possessed, and the ninja are actually somewhat competent this time. They actually have their powers. So I'm excited. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, that's not going to be the theme of the script. They will come together at some point and form up a team again. I have that already planned out. I have the entire script planned out. I just need to write the rest of the scenes, which, if I work on it consistently, like I said, should take me around a couple of months. So by May, we should probably have this thing all set and ready to go. What would I think if Wu and Misako got together? I would think that's kind of messed up, and I would not like that, but it wouldn't drive me away from the show or anything like that. I just think they work better as friends, you know? I don't think they need to be together. I know Master Wu kind of has a little crush on Misako, but, you know, I don't think they need to end up together. They can just be besties. Do I think Clutch Powers is not a con? Maybe. I mean, with the season 15 stuff coming out, it's kind of been less and less apparent that Nauticon will come back at some point. So, you know, maybe we'll see him at some point in Ninjago's future. Otherwise, we're probably not going to see him this year. We already know that season 14 probably will not include him, and season 15 is not looking like it'll include Nadakon either. So hopefully someday. Yeah, Wu should be shipped with his T. Absolutely. um, Overlord versus Nadakon. I like the Overlord a little more. How did Wu know about Nadakon in the season 10 mural? See, that's kind of what's inconsistent about it. So Skybound allegedly got erased from everybody's mind except for Jay and Nia. But they have been, I guess, establishing that the other ninja might remember it. In Ninjago Decoded, Zane remembers it, so I don't know. And by March of the Oni, it appears that everybody remembers it, but once they talk about the mural and point it out, the other ninja are kind of confused. They don't know what they're talking about, which is very inconsistent, don't know what's going on. If Wu knows about it, then I could totally see that. Otherwise, yeah, who knows? Do I think Director Hayward is Ultron? Not sure. I've seen that theory kind of floating around for WandaVision. The director of Sword or whatever. He's secretly Ultron in disguise. I don't know about that. I think it's an interesting theory, but we'll just have to wait and see what it plays out to be like. For WandaVision, I don't know. I'm kind of avoiding spoilers, I guess, for it. Like usually when an episode comes out, I'll turn off Twitter and I won't look at my phone until the episode's over again. Usually spoilers don't bother me, but for some reason for WandaVision, I kind of want to be surprised by it. Don't know why. Will I watch the Mars rover landing? I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, is that like a new thing, or like when is that coming out? Because I have not heard of that until just now. Am I a Star Wars fan? Not really. I mean, some stuff in Star Wars I think is cool. Like, I don't know. I like some stuff. I like The Force Awakens. I hate the WandaVision Mephisto theory. Everybody's talking about Mephisto, especially if you guys watch New Rockstars. Eric Voss, he's all about Mephisto. I think it's funny. He reminds me a lot of how I make Ninjago theories, just obsessing over one particular topic, even if it's debunked. Who cares? Just obsess over it. Fugitive's the actual villain. I can see that. I have got an ongoing theory that the mailman is actually a main villain. So, thoughts on Young Rock? I think it's an interesting concept for a show. I'm not gonna watch it though. Absolutely not. Um, NASA will live stream the rover landing in like 30 minutes. Ooh, I might have to watch that then. Yeah, I didn't know about that. Are we gonna see some aliens? We'll see some aliens on Mars. Maybe we'll see Matt Damon. Who knows? You guys get that reference? I don't know. I liked The Martian, the movie The Martian. I thought it was good. Fox Quicksilver or Age of Ultron Quicksilver? I don't know. They're both kind of meh to me, for being honest. I don't really have like a preferred Quicksilver because they're both just kind of average to me. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. I kind of like what they're doing though with Quicksilver in WandaVision so far. I think I think it's actually somewhat decent how they're doing that. I just want to see where it goes, you know. Favorite episode of WandaVision? Maybe episode 4, I'd say so far. I don't know. I really didn't like the most recent episode, the Halloween one, or not the Halloween one. Was it the Halloween one? Yeah, that was the most recent episode. Was it? I can't remember. If it was, then that's my least favorite. Um, Most overwatched and underwatched season. In terms of my own personal preference or whatever, I think I've watched season 4 the most out of all of them. I think I've watched season 7 the least out of all of them. So yeah, Hands of Time is what we're currently working with. I think overall for the community, a lot of people just kind of disregard season 11 as well. I've also only watched season 11 like one time all the way through. So otherwise, I'd say some of the most popular seasons are definitely season 5. Season 13's up there too. A lot of people like that. Favorite elemental power? I'd say water. Water's a really cool power. Even though Nia's not my favorite ninja, I still think water's a really cool power. That's what I'm looking forward to most in season 15. I want to see all this underwater stuff. I want to see how Nia's powers expand because I'm a really big fan of the elemental power of water. It's just the character Nia herself, not my favorite, and I hope I can like her a little more after season 15 wraps up. But from what we can see from the sets for season 15, I think this season's going to be really cool. The underwater stuff looks awesome. Why is she not my favorite? I don't know. Just her personality is kind of meh. Like, she's just super obnoxious for no reason in a lot of cases. She's very strong. She's a very strong character, and that doesn't make her bad. What makes her bad is that she just has to constantly remind you that, yes, she's strong. We get it. You're a strong character. You don't need to constantly remind us, you know. She's gotten better in future seasons, obviously. It was pretty bad from, I'd say, season 3 to like season 6-ish. After Skybound wrapped up, she got better. That was kind of her main thing in Skybound. Favorite weapons? I really enjoy, I guess, the golden weapons are cool. The elemental blades are cool. I like the jade blades a lot too, but they weren't really used as weapons in the show. When did she remind us? Just in terms of how she acted. She was very much like in the audience face about that, in the other ninjas' faces, especially with Skybound. She made it very clear that she didn't really need any protection. She basically was just being super mean to Jay for no reason. Which I understand, you know, she was trying to get her confidence back, but I don't know, to me it just felt like, all right. It's like, we get it. We know. She has been getting better, though. Like, she's been really good in the series ever since Skybound wrapped up, so it's been like, what, 5 years since I've had a really big issue with Nia, but she still doesn't really stand above any of the other ninja for me. Who do I think is the most developed character? I'd say Lloyd. I'd say Lloyd has had the biggest arc throughout the series. Started off as a young bratty kid, and look where he is now. That's like a really big. It's like a really big difference. So I'd say he has had the most development, the most growth. Do I think the Skulkin are a race of skeletons from the underworld, since dead and bad people go to the departed and cursed realms? Yeah, I'd say they're just skeletons just by default. I wouldn't say they were ever human at one point. I'd say the skeletons are just skeletons just by nature. Just maybe that's what citizens look like in the underworld. Who knows? Yeah, I think that was kind of building up though, like with Nia being rude to Jay. I think that was building up. I'd say she just got her feelings really mixed up in season 3. She didn't know who she liked. She didn't know if she liked Cole or Jay, and that was kind of messing with her head. She then decided to continue with that in season 4. You know, still kind of questioning that. For the time season 5 rolled around, she was kind of annoyed with not being, you know, included on the team. But she then was trained to be the water ninja, and then she got a little too overconfident with that. Her identities kind of got mixed up. But overall, I feel like nowadays she's very solid with her identity. She's the water ninja. She's happy with that. And Samurai X is just a distant memory. Samurai X is Pixel now. So, do I prefer the Ultrasonic Raider, Ultra Stealth Raider, or the Legacy Ultrasonic Raider? Um, I'm gonna be honest. I think the Legacy Ultrasonic Raider that we just saw, I think that looks the best out of all of the Ultrasonic Raiders. I've seen a lot of people complain about it, but it's very compact. It's very small. It's a very small design. I think it looks cute. You know, it's just a small little chibi Ultrasonic Raider. I think it looks adorable. Not a big fan of the original design. The Ultra Stealth Raider is kind of too over the top for my taste as well. I'd honestly say the new Legacy one. I think that looks the best. I'll probably end up getting it when it comes out. I think it looks cute enough. Nia or Zane? I gotta go with Zane. I think Zane's the better character. When do I think the Vengestone buyer arc will be finished? I think they're kind of taking a detour right now, and maybe they're not going to explore that in season 14 or 15, but then maybe they'll bring it back around, and for season 16, maybe we'll continue on with the Vengestone arc. Otherwise, if Vengestone's got something to do with season 15, I can totally see that happening too. Maybe Wahira is buying all the Vengestone or whatever. You would think if she was like an ancient storm spirit, she would just steal it, but you know, she wouldn't like hold out a business transaction. We'll see what happens. Um, yeah, in terms of release dates for new seasons, yeah, we don't really have any. Can you really call it an arc when it doesn't actually have a full story? Well, it's not done just yet. It's going to continue with another season, but I don't know. Everyone just kind of calls it the Vengestone arc. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think Wahira would need Vengestone at all. Again, she probably wouldn't go about like a business decision or whatever to try to to try to buy it from King Vangelis. If she honestly needed Vengestone for whatever reason, if she was trying to build something or whatever, she would just either create it herself or steal it. I don't think Vengestone is necessary for her plan, which makes me think that Wahira is not the Vengestone buyer. Have you seen the picture of season 15 Lloyd? I've only seen what was shown yesterday in the leaks. Otherwise, if you guys got other information, feel free to send it my way. Otherwise, I just, I haven't seen anything aside from what we had seen yesterday. So, um, Mailman's evil because it took 3 months to deliver my Ninjago set. Man, that's awful. Yeah, with the where'd you order from? I know, like with Bricks and Pieces, like online, like Lego's official, like Bricklink style service, that takes forever. It takes like months to get that thing out to whoever ordered it. It's very weird. Otherwise, most stuff that I order gets here within like, a week at the most. I think the longest I've waited to buy something officially from Lego, the longest I've waited for a package was probably like a couple of weeks at the most, if you don't count like Bricks and Pieces or whatever it's called, Bricks and Bits, Bricks and Pieces, whatever works. Is Prime Empire one of the 16 realms? No, it is not. Prime Empire is just a video game. It's not one of the realms. It's been confirmed a couple of times, I think. It could be a realm if they really wanted to make it one, but I feel like they'd be, I guess, more keen on making the Digiverse a realm, if anything, but neither the Digiverse nor Prime Empire are realms. Is there ever a way to get rid of dust on the Lego sets? Just dust very frequently, like go through like every week or so and just kind of dust stuff off. That way dust doesn't build up. Admittedly, what I do is I don't do that because I forget. So what happens is I get this set and it's all covered with dust, etc. So what I do is I kind of take it apart, I wash the pieces, and then I rebuild it. And then it looks as good as new. That's what I've done for a couple of sets that I've rebuilt so far. Am I buff? I don't think so. I think I would be. I'd say I'm just kind of your average dude. If I had to, I guess, give you guys an idea. Am I John Cena? I wish. Which Golden Ninja is my roommate's favorite? I don't think she's seen the Golden Ninjas. I'll have to show her them. Or if I remember, I'll ask her later today, and then I will tell you guys in tomorrow's stream, if I remember. Not too sure though. I don't think she's seen any of the Golden Ninjas. Sensei Garmadon or Sensei Wu. I prefer, I don't know, Sensei Garmadon is a lot of fun. Obviously, Wu is like a classic choice, but I think Garmadon's cool for, what he is. I hope Garmadon comes back at some point. Am I giving Superman and Lois a chance? I'm probably not going to watch it, just because I have other stuff that I want to watch more, and I'm not the biggest Superman fan in the world. I'd say Superman's probably like one of my least favorite heroes out of anything. One of my least favorite superheroes. He just seems like the most like by the books, like the most bland superhero ever. How long is the stream? We got a few minutes left. About 5 minutes left in the stream before we wrap up. Is Wu's beard? Is Wu's beard the sea snakes? Is Wu's beard the sea snakes? Yes. Yes, indeed. Will I do that for the city gardens in terms of dusting? With the city gardens, I've been trying to keep on top of dusting it very frequently. It's on my desk. It's like right next to where I work. So whatever I do when I'm like rendering a video or I have a little bit of free time, I go through and I dust it off and try to get a lot of the dust off of it, just so that it doesn't build up. Because with the city gardens, it's going to be a little bit of a process to take it apart and rebuild it, to wash it. I mainly just do that for smaller sets. With bigger sets like the gardens, I usually try to stay on top of my dusting. I got a little can of compressed air as well on the desk that I use for dusting. It doesn't really work when dust is like caked onto the sets, but it does work when there's just a little bit. You can easily spray it off with compressed air. Which villain would I love to rule Ninjago? in terms of like which villain should win. I think it'd be cool if the Overlord won at some point and kind of ravaged Ninjago, and then the ninja had to take Ninjago back. We've seen Ninjago be conquered before though. Like Garmadon pretty much conquered it with season 8. he was kind of all powerful after Sons of Garmadon had wrapped up. Garmadon and Harumi won at the end of season 8. Of course, the ninja bounced back in season 9 and kind of took Ninjago back, but you know, that was like the major first time that we saw a villain actually like winning at the end of a season. With only a few minutes left in the stream, why don't we jump over to rapid fire questions? Anything that I can answer in just a quick sentence or two. Let's go ahead and get some other questions into the chat before we round things out. Call it good from there. Do I think Asphira will return? Probably not. I don't think she's going to be coming back. Maybe she could be Water Asphira. How did I get the new pictures for what? Like the sets? They're all over Discord. Like if you go on any Discord server, people can DM them to you. Pizza or burger? I like burger. Clancy or Zippy? Ooh, I got to see more of what Zippy's up to, but right now I'd say Clancy's the better of the two. Aquino or Scott? I like Aquino a little more. I think Scott's cool though. Both of them are really cool. Snyder Cut new trailer? Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I'm excited. I have a beard like woo. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get a really long white beard. Maybe when I'm like 80. Do I want a spin-off show with young Woo or Garmadon? I think that could be cool. We're kind of getting that though in comic form with like the Spinjitzu brothers. Favorite Golden Ninja besides Cole? I don't know. I like Kai's. I think Kai's is a lot of fun. Kai's Golden Ninja. Have I seen regular show? I have. Haven't seen all of it, but I've seen some of it. I used to watch it a lot when I was younger. Can I show my buff cats? None of the cats are really buff. They're all just kind of fat. No, they're not super jacked or anything like that. Would like to see Zane being a human. I think his cloaking mechanism works fine from what we have seen so far. I don't think he has a reason to use it though much anymore. But I think it'd be an interesting plot twist to see him actually become human, like full on human. We've never really seen that before. We've seen kind of like his empty shell at the end of Hands of Time, but you know, he's never been like genuinely full on human, I'd say. How's my robot shelf? Going good. Just added a couple more figures to it. Coffee or tea? Neither. I don't drink either of them. Coffee makes me sick and tea is kind of gross to me, so I suppose it just kind of depends on which tea. Like I guess mint tea is okay. So yeah, I guess I'd say tea. Um King Vangelis or Skull Sorcerer. I think the Skull Sorcerer is a little bit cooler of a design as opposed to just King Vangelis's normal design. I like the Skull Sorcerer. I like how he looks in the show. The sets kind of dial it back a little bit, which is unfortunate. I don't think the Mailman's fugitive, no. I think they're both two separate characters. Did I hear about Cartoon Network's rebranding? Do you think they're going to be airing more Ninjago? I did not hear about Cartoon Network's rebranding, but even if they did rebrand, I don't think they would air more Ninjago. Cartoon Network doesn't really care about Ninjago. I doubt that's going to change anytime soon. But no, I haven't really heard anything like that. Coke or wine? Depends on what kind of wine you're talking about. Favorite villain? I like the Overlord. I like Garmadon. I like Chen. Those three. Stream almost done? Yeah, it's almost done. I got a few minutes left. Why do 18 plus and up sets exist? There are other Lego fans that exist besides just youngsters, you know. So I think it's cool that they're actually marketing out newer sets towards adults, like 18 plus sets. That's an awesome idea. Yeah, Cartoon Network isn't all that great. Who in Ninjago is worthy to lift Thor's hammer? That's an interesting question. If I had to give a guess, maybe Zane, I'd say. Perhaps. I'd say Zane's probably the most worthy out of all the ninja. Either Zane or Cole, one of those two. Definitely not the other ones. That's a good question to end on. My favorite Ninjago set. So a lot of you guys know this. My favorite set right now is the movie Bounty. However, I will say the more that I look at the gardens and the more that I fiddle with it and mess around with it, the closer it gets. I think the Gardens is a very solid Ninjago set, but I think the movie Bounty's still my favorite. If I had to pick, one thing, yeah, with the NetherRealm stuff, I don't know. I'd say that wasn't really by Zane's choice. He kind of had amnesia. But yeah, that'll pretty much wrap it up for the stream here today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. That'll pretty much wrap it up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is the schedule for those of you guys that need it. Once again, we stream Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time, with an episode review and a Q&A. We will update this day by day. If there's ever a day where I can't stream, I'll let you guys know via my community tab. In terms of the end of the stream, we can start off the end of the stream tradition where everybody spams the word hug in the chat. Some of you guys have already kicked that off for me. Thank you very, very much. I'll put it in there a couple of times. Why not? But yeah, guys, that'll pretty much wrap it up for the stream today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tomorrow, we are going to be talking about the attack, and that'll be the last stream of the week. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. We got a couple more videos coming out today on the channel, so be sure to stay tuned for that if you want to go ahead and check out those uploads. Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow for the attack. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. It was a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for being a fantastic audience. Thanks a lot for hanging out. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next stream. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest